The rap star is in a halfway house right now after being released from federal...
What if I told you a Memphis rapper that once had the world in his hands?
Uh-oh.
A man whose rapping ability was strong enough to feed not only himself but his entire family. But instead of that talent taking him somewhere different, he ended up sentenced to 5 years in federal prison behind a robbery and a shooting that could have easily turned into a murder. All over some shoes and some Mary Jane. And what if I told you after coming home, instead of moving different, instead of staying down and rebuilding his career, he allegedly started teasing the victim's family. Out of every picture he could have chosen on his Instagram, his default picture is him standing in front of a green McLaren, identifying himself as a slime king, a case we'll later go over in its entirety. But what if I told you that the very man who helped him reach the level that he at today, the man who helped change his life, is the same man he allegedly tried to slime out of his contract just to sign somewhere else, and is being reported to another man. The irony, right? Because instead of staying down and dropping constant music, he drops the First Day Out record, still on the very same label of the man he allegedly tried to slime out, and the song goes #1. But inside that song, there's a lyric that caught people's attention. Quote, "Your daddy a killer, but you ain't, you just like Bronny James."
Told me lame, your daddy a killer, but you ain't, you just like Bronny James. Afterwards,
that followed up after the lyrics. His daddy was his first CD, his co-defendant.
They weren't doing it for the same. See, my dad in my first code D jumped in the streets, he showed me lane.
Meaning his father was the first person he ever caught a charge with. And according to reports, that same father was allegedly with him during a situation involving the CEO he reportedly tried to slime out. And as history shows, that's when that situation happened. It was actually a police officer connected to that CEO's security detail that got involved. Now fast forward to today, despite the hype, despite the #1 song, you still haven't dropped the full project. And now, as this halfway house
period
is reportedly coming...
for real, like, you know what I'm saying? I heard some shit like Pooh Shiesty, he signed to Young Gotti or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? CMG or some shit like that. But Glorilla and shit like that, but I don't know what he got going on, you feel me? Waiting. He told me, he said he finna drop the tape, you feel me? Just waiting on, you feel me? He had like, he dropped that shit and he got on the goddamn remix. But he ain't really, you know what I'm saying? We waiting for, I know you got songs, King. Looking for, you know, you got them beats, nigga. Feel me?
Tune in. Local news report outlets within the last 24 hours have released footage showing federal agents outside a home reportedly owned by him and his father. And when you see something like that, people naturally start connecting the dots. 2 + 2 do equal 4. Because when the feds show up, it's usually not random. You know, originally, family, I was actually working on another completely different story out of Alabama involving 2 young brothers who were recently killed inside their vehicle. Reports saying an AK-47 was found in the car. As I started researching that case, I realized their mother had died in a similar situation just 2 years prior. While digging deeper into the story, I even came across someone allegedly claiming responsibility, turning a photo from the victim's girlfriend into a flyer and filming a music video at a graveyard, disrespecting the victim less than 24 hours after his death. But while I was gathering those details, I ended up seeing a new development involving Pooh Shiesty. And once you started seeing the pieces come together, it raises a lot of questions. Because like they say in 4 Brothers, you keep knocking on the devil's door, sooner or later somebody gonna answer. So before we go over the Alabama story, I want to briefly go over this Pooh Shiesty story. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Man, 4 years ago when I started this platform in 2022, we was trying to find a niche. And during that period, we was talking about rappers and their parents. People were intrigued on their stories. And one of those rappers was Pooh Shiesty. And after I was doing my research,
because he was from the South, nigga, like for real.
That time had a huge presence. I came across the history of his father, Lontrell Williams Sr. Pooh Shiesty is identified as Lontrell Williams Jr. And at that time, you had platforms like Hip Hop Daily, who was bigger than mine at that time, who picked it up. He did many of my videos like that and end up regurgitating the same information that I put out. Now, I'll leave the link in the bio, but I do want to point out something from that story. Now, to give you a brief recap, it's important to know this. The situation took place in 2004 pertaining to DJ, and it was alleged that Pooh Shiesty's dad was upset that the DJ was playing Yo Gotti's music and not his. He had a record label, Lontrell Williams, Pooh Shiesty's dad that is, back then, was the mob boss. Now in the video, I went into detail on how the stash house was raided. Fam, forgive me on how I was breathing and talking in that video. We came a long way. Now if you check it out, it talked about how a grand jury indicted 3 suspects for the murder and of a Memphis radio personality that was found dead inside her downtown apartment.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Stanley Andrews, 24, on charges of first-degree and first-degree M, and aggravated R for the M of Rebecca Glenn. She was 24 years old. Andrew was sentenced to life in prison. Rebecca was found strangled on April 12, 2004 at 130 South Front Street by an apartment manager. Concerned co-workers at Flint Broadcasting drove the Glenn's home when she failed to show up for work. The grand jury also indicted Lontrell D. Williams, 27 at the time, and Marquita Thomas, who was 19. Apparently she was the setup girl. Each one on account of possession after the fact. And ever since that day, Pooh Shiesty's dad was a convicted felon. May Rebecca rest in peace and love her condolences to her family. Fast forward 15 years later, in 2019, just a year before Pooh Shiesty gets signed during the pandemic, Lontrell Williams Sr. apartment would get raided again. You see, back then, they stayed on Main Circle on the 700 block, Main Circle West. Police had a search warrant for the house on December 11, 2019. At around 6 p.m., they came through. Police conducted a protective sweep on the apartment and encountered a male identified as Lontrell Williams Jr., also known by his rap stage name as Pooh Shiesty. In the southwest bedroom, sitting on the bed, Lontrell Williams Jr. was sitting on a Glock 22 pistol. During the time he was detained, detectives continued to sweep for the residence to see if any more bodies was there and didn't locate anyone else. After the scene was made safe, detectives could smell a strong odor of marijuana throughout the entire apartment. While searching for the source of the smell, Detectives Garrison and Detective Murphy located $30 of currency under the couch in the living room. Detective Tate located a Glock with 50-round drum mag and around 24 rounds inside and a rifle stock for a Glock pistol in the southwest bedroom where Pooh Shiesty was at. Detectives Mills also located a large clear bag of Mary Jane in the southwest
Them
bedroom.
motherfuckers legal, gang. They legal, folks. What you talking about? I ain't gonna say they dirty and that. Them motherfuckers probably legal, man.
Bedroom. Another detective located
Who knows,
miscellaneous
dude?
documents in the master bedroom. Detective Tate located a Glock with 2 rounds in the southwest bedroom dresser, as well as $605. Another detective located 3 Navy
And
Federal
$5.
Credit Union envelope with Pooh Shiesty's government name on the kitchen floor. Another detective located a key to a Chrysler 300 in the kitchen drawer. Another detective located a black phone on the kitchen counter. Detective Tate located a black hat with the words Chopper Gang logo on the southwest bedroom dresser. Detective Tate located a white/gold iPad in the master bedroom dresser. Another detective located a purple jersey with the name Pooh Shiesty, as well as a Louis Vuitton bag in the southwest bedroom closet. Detective Murphy located a key fob in the southwest bedroom to a tan Chevrolet Tahoe. The detectives were able to locate outside the apartment by pressing the key button. Detectives could smell a strong odor of Mary Jane from outside the vehicle due to narcotics being located inside the apartment, as well as the vehicle being within the scope of the document search warrant. Detectives Mambo had conducted a free air sniff around the vehicle, in which Mambo gave a positive alert to the driver's side door. Apparently, that was the gang unit dog. Pooh Shiesty was later transported to 3657 Old Gitwell Road for interviews. And once he got there, he was advised his rights and declined to speak to detectives. The Mary Jane was tested positive with a TGW at 1.20 pounds. The total count of currency at the property was 40,984. 2 e-trace forms were completed for both handguns. Detectives seized an unknown number of coins that would be counted and tagged during business hours. Pooh Shiesty was charged with possession of a controlled substance, possession of a firearm, and commission of a felon, and also had his dad hemmed up as a co-defendant, because there was a house in his name, well, apartment. So now you understand what he meant by that song. His daddy was his first CD. It seemed like his daddy took the case. But just months later, April 2020, Pooh Shiesty will be signed to 1017. What seemed to be a gang build-up based on the information like Chopper Gang written on hats that was found by the police, he could now focus on music and choosing another route. And that's what happened. He dropped 762 God. Out the gate, he made a name. And he ain't looked back since when it came to rap.
That shit was a
song that got
bumper,
over
like, I
80
ain't gonna
million
lie,
views.
folks.
I ain't counting.
In the corner, now we lit. You can't do a show up in the
Hey, hold on, folks. That shit was that shit. I ain't gonna lie, but it was that one banger that he had with Big 30, folks. Whatever was goddamn when it was back in the car and shit, there was got handcuffs on shit like that. What's that shit called? Like, I can't forget what it's called, but it's that one banger they got together, folks. That was like really the first. I was like, oh yeah, these two of y'all gotta get in tune with these niggas for real.
city, bitch, did my shit.
And for a year straight, Pooh Shiesty was going a huge run. Dropped Back in Blood, a track featuring Lord Durk that's now 8 times platinum, 2 away from becoming diamond.
You know who took this shit from you? Come get it back in blood. Brr, brr, bitch, come get it back in blood.
Back in Blood going 8 times platinum, like how I feel to have that accomplishment, like it's just crazy because, like, ain't so close to, you know what I'm saying? It's platinum, like, it ain't being done every day. Like, it's a lot of people from where we from that, you know, that go far, but this right there is like, you know, that's crazy. That's a big deal right there, and made a lot of people proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still give hope. You know, I want something else that can be like 8 times platinum again. And it's crazy because how this song.
You gotta drop a tape or something, man. You might get you one.
But at the same time, we knew this was the one. And come from where I'm coming from, police walking past, you know, big brother, Pooh Shiesty, I'm really Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny. Like, it's good. Like, that was a big point in life right there. That's a hit right there. A memory. I got a little dirt, like, from that video shoot, from the Back in Blood video shoot. It's like, that was my first time being in Chicago with him, too. So, how he move and, like, how he is around, like, his people and how they love him and, you know, how they do for him. I love that. Like, a lot of people don't know.
Nah,
like,
free
side,
smart,
you know
fool.
what I'm saying? Like, how it is.
Free smart,
being,
man.
like,
Long
that
live
deep
long.
in the trenches.
Long live D
The
thing.
respect level is so high. There was no incidents involved, no altercations or none of that. And we like 150 deep out here. We so deep out here, like, it's crazy. So to see that and the love and how they showed me love, you know what I'm saying? How he treated me and kept me on his help and, you know, watch out. And, you know, they just like, oh yeah, I mess with him, like, for sure. It's deep. I spoke to Dirk, but unfortunately it was like under the circumstances that where we couldn't really just talk like that, cause in a minute he'll be able to talk more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I reached out for him, I hit ended her up, told her she can ask me whatever she need, you know what I'm saying? Tell brother call me every time, like, I'm gonna pick up their phone for sure, whatever it is, you know?
But that run during the pandemic will surely come to a stop. Pooh Shiesty was indicted in June 3rd, 2021. Apparently that indictment came from an incident that took place on October 9th, 2020 in Miami-Dade County. Police say Pooh Shiesty was with 2 people, a man identified as Robbie Brown and Jaden DeRosa. They was the defendants. Police say on October 9th, 2020 at around 1:50 p.m., 3 males later identified as Williams, Brown, and DeRosa arrived at the Landon Hotel, located on the 9700 East Bay Harbor Drive in Bay Harbor Island. Williams was driving a green McLaren, with Brown in the passenger seat. DeRosa was driving a black Mercedes Maybach. Williams had arranged to meet the victims at the location to purchase a pair of high-end athletic sneakers on Mary Jane.
Just look at him, folks. You knew something was
with Brown in
going
the
on.
passenger seat. DeRosa was driving a black Mercedes Maybach. Williams had arranged to meet the victims at the location to purchase a pair of high-end athletic sneakers on Mary Jane. Williams had rented the McLaren.
Niggas
from
done
the
seen this
victims.
shit
That's
so
right.
many
Victim number
times,
one was
gang.
hoping to negotiate an extension of his vehicle rental as part of the transaction. During the transaction, Pooh Shiesty, Brown had brandished firearms and shot both victims. Specifically, Brown shot victim 1 in the hip and Pooh Shiesty shot victim 2 in the buttocks. The victims then drove to MD Urgent Care for medical assistance and were later transported to a Venture hospital for further treatment. As part of the investigation, law enforcement reviewed video surveillance which depict Pooh Shiesty arriving at the hotel in the green McLaren, with Brown as the passenger and DeRosa driving in a black Maybach. Williams was wearing a yellow shirt and Brown was wearing a white t-shirt. DeRosa was wearing a purple hoodie. Shortly after Williams arrived at the hotel, victim 1 approached Williams and handed him a bag of Mary Jane. Victim 2 then approached and gave Williams a shopping bag. Williams opened the bag and removed a pair of athletic sneakers and began examining them. Victim 2 then walked around the McLaren and sat in the passenger seat where Brown had previously been sitting to collect payment from Pooh Shiesty. As victim 2 held one of the sneakers in hand, Pooh Shiesty pointed a Draco subcompact weapon at him and demanded that he leave the sneakers in the car. DeRosa stepped out the Maybach, approached victim 2 and attempted to take victim 2's jewelry from his persons. Moments later, as victim 2 attempted to stop DeRosa from stealing his jewelry, Pooh Shiesty shot victim 2 in the buttocks. Victim 2 then retreated towards the vehicle. Ultimately, DeRosa could not take the jewelry from victim's 2 persons, but Pooh Shiesty maintained the sneakers without paying for them. Victim 2 operates a shoe sale business that involves the shipment of products in interstate commerce.
And that nigga opened the other door, man.
For the shoes or Mary Jane. Moments after Williams shot victim 2, Brown shot victim 1 in the hip. Video surveillance shows victim 1 fall to the ground in the area between the green McLaren and the victim's vehicle. Victim 1 then observed Williams point a Draco subcompact weapon at him and state in substance, quote, "Don't you try." Shortly after, Pooh, Shiesty, DeRosa, and Brown returned to their respective vehicles and drove away. Williams never stepped out the driver's seat of the McLaren. The surveillance video captured a Louis Vuitton bag falling out the driver's seat of the McLaren as Pooh, Shiesty drove away after the shooting. Law enforcement recovered the bag, which contained $40,912 in United States currency. The second time Pooh, Shiesty had $40K took from him by the police. Pooh, Shiesty publicly available Instagram account, Pooh, Shiesty, contains photographs that depict him displaying several long rifles and a plethora of $100 bills before the robbery. One of the $100 bills from the picture displayed the full serial number on the bill, which police had identified and recovered on one of the $100 bills that was found in a Louis Vuitton bag. Law enforcement later identified DeRosa publicly by his Instagram, Dream Monta, where DeRosa is depicted holding a Draco firearm like the one used Pooh, Shiesty during the shooting. After recovering video surveillance, law enforcement responded to a Venture Hospital to speak to the victim and present them with still photos from the video surveillance. Victim 1 stated that he was certain that the person driving the green McLaren was rapper Pooh, Shiesty. Victim 1 said he had several encounters with Pooh, Shiesty, including when Victim 1 rented the green McLaren. Victim 1 explained that when he was shot, the closest person to him was Pooh, Shiesty road manager, Bobby Brown. Victim 1 then described Brown as wearing a white t-shirt, which was corroborated by video surveillance. Law enforcement also presented Victim 1 with a photo of DeRosa, and Victim 1 identified DeRosa as the driver of the Mercedes Maybach and the person wearing the purple hoodie. Law enforcement then contacted Victim 2 while he was being treated at a Venture Hospital. Law enforcement also presented him with still photos in which he identified the same people.
Now, in just one station, surveillance cameras showing a new view of a violent shootout in a parking lot of a South Florida apartment building. The barrage of bullets sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
The mercy of 2 victims then hobbles to the car. Jet.
For his performance in cash, and a person from the crowd slapped his hand, causing Pooh, Shiesty to drop the cash on the ground. Pooh, Shiesty then retrieved the black semi-automatic pistol from his waistband and began waving it to prevent club patrons from taking his money. Upon seeing Pooh, Shiesty with the firearm, the club security sought to remove him from the venue. Video surveillance captured Williams walking with the firearm in his hands. Williams then fired 1 shot, striking this club security guard in the ankle. Williams fled in the dark-colored vehicle, and because
that nigga shot security and I'm over in the club, boy.
Was a hell of a deal based on all the information that we just talked about, including 2 that could have been 2 murders. And in April of 2000,
3 really, nigga.
He accepted a plea, sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison. A part of his plea, he agreed to the firearm and drug charges, and the 3 other charges were dropped. October 2025, Pooh, Shiesty will come home.
Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty is no longer in federal custody, according to his attorney. Pooh Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Williams.
I thought this was Shorty grandma on that one Netflix show on. It's called Up Shaws, bro. Up Shaws or something like that. You feel me? The grandma. I was like, boy, chill out.
Halfway house on his first week of April of 2026. But as we all know now, that's up for debate. But when Pooh Shiesty first came home in October, everything seemed good. Gucci Man walked him home with the post quoted, "Welcome home to the real one. My nigga Pooh Shiesty. The energy different now. Same hustle, new chapter. Shiesty back and free. The only way it's supposed to be. Real ones never fold. Time to shake the streets up. Walk proud of you. Hashtag 1017. Gucci Man wife Keisha Kior had quoted, "Welcome home, Pooh. We missed you." He also had an Instagram post in which Pooh Shiesty had reposted, quoted, "Welcome home, Pooh Shiesty. The main slime is back." Not to mention, Pooh Shiesty liked the post that was on his Instagram page. Everything seemed normal as mentioned, but one thing was visibly clear. Gucci Man was not seen with Pooh Shiesty, and some thought that was because he was on the halfway house. That was his CEO. And then months later, Pooh Shiesty, at the top of 2026, had dropped FDO, First Day Out. A highly anticipated wait, and it was safe to say that he didn't let his fans down. The track was over 6 minutes long, straight bars with his mother giving a speech that, quite frankly, any kid would want to hear the encouragement give her son, coming from their mom.
Too many people depending on his leadership skills out here for him to be gone. Come on, son, reclaim your...
Gucci Man never reposted the video.
That first go to your head, ain't nobody slime as me. I'm the one from around the corner where they snake Martin Luther.
That song played in the club.
Martin King,
performed it. Was a little less than 50 million views on YouTube in just 2 months. But a month after that track was released, the rumors between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty was amplified. Once a well-known blogger named Seti Nash would come out and say Pooh Shiesty had allegedly robbed Gucci Mane. And with such bold claims, people was confused. That was his artist. It showed under FDO that he was still signed to 1017. And it's 2026. When you make claims like that, people want to see evidence. Until a blogger, a well-known blogger named King AK47, had put his career on the line and gave his audience the details on allegedly what happened that day in Texas. Pooh Shiesty and his dad allegedly robbed Gucci Mane to get out of his contract to allegedly sign with Yo Gotti, the same man that allegedly made Pooh Shiesty dad pissed off when he was in Pampers for not playing his music, playing his, resulting in a local DJ.
Like, that's crazy. So, Pop's riding, though. You feel me? His Pop's riding, though. You feel me? He down about this shit, down about his son, as he should. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like contract, but if he fulfilled his contract already, he just got out and he wanna go somewhere else, you know what I'm saying, start his own little label or some shit, you feel me? I feel like me as a CEO, I'll fuck around and let him, you feel me? Like, shit like that, I ain't known, you feel me? I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm holding all my artists and shit, I need all that money, you feel me? You're to your motherfucking all type of shit. That's crazy though. You feel me? That's why it's really sticky to be signing up to somebody, especially if you're a rapper, streamer. You sign. That should just be OC. You know, I'd rather just be dolo solo. You feel me? Get all my shit and bring it to me, nigga. You feel me? Shit, come on.
Being gunned down. Now, I don't know how King AK47 got these details, but shout out to him, because they seem to be true. Not one lie was called or bluff was called yet. Check out what he had to say. Now,
I didn't think Pooh Shiesty was dumb enough. But y'all, Pooh Shiesty is dumb enough. A lot of people attack Seti, question his credibility about this video, about what he said, even me. I put this on all my children. If this video is not the truth, I will quit YouTube. I would never make another single video. Ever. And that's on Jesus Christ. And you guys can cancel me. And I dare anybody in Atlanta to speak out on the behalf of Gucci. And to speak out on the behalf of Pooh. Because that's where Gucci from. I dare everybody that was in Texas when this situation happened to speak out on the behalf of Gucci and to speak out on the behalf of Pooh. And I dare anybody from Memphis to speak out on the behalf of Gucci and to speak out on the behalf of Pooh. They won't do it. I guarantee you, they won't say cap and they won't say it happened. Gucci gets called for a meeting. Pooh Shiesty wants out of his contract. Pooh Shiesty is with his dad. They're at a studio. There's guns in here. There's Pooh with a few dudes. I say, 10. Gucci is with a white boy. He's a cameraman. He's with a dude. I won't disclose his name, but his name is 2 letters. And he's with a security guard. Not only is this a security guard, you guys, this is a police officer. Yes.
Damn.
The person that was with Gucci.
Gucci be riding around with 12? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Damn, black truck. It was a black truck that just drive by. That's funny as hell. But nah, yeah, Gucci walking around with undercover cops and stuff like that. That's smart and shit like that. You feel me? But damn, Pooh, hold on, fool. If you did that shit, I ain't gonna lie, bro. And then your shit got raided after that. It all makes sense. Oh, shit.
Off-duty police officer.
Off duty.
Gucci goes into the office, in the room. Pooh and the dad story I heard BS. No fight. Pooh wants out this contract. Gucci doesn't want out this contract. The dad wants his son out this contract.
Mm-hmm. He not going. He not going.
Big 30, bro.
He was, of course, he was there. Not saying he did, but
People hear the commotion. Some dudes come in. Big 30 closes the door behind them. They robbed Gucci for a wedding band, not the wedding ring, a wedding band. They robbed Gucci for a watch, not the $1 million watch, but not a cheap watch. They did rob Gucci for a chain, not one of his heavy hitter chains, but a chain. They also took $10,000 out of Gucci's pocket, all their wallets, a bag from the cameraman. Took it. Did Pooh take it? No. The dudes that Pooh was with took it. About 6-7 dudes that walked in this room, y'all. Pooh put the gun up to Gucci. That rumor, true. So, Pooh Shiesty's freedom. Many people think it's over. Many people think he's going to jail because that white boy, he kept saying he wanted to tell. After the robbery happened, Gucci told everybody he was with, don't say nothing about this, don't say nothing that happened, I'm going to take care of it. Now there's a problem. That off-duty cop, when a cop is present during a crime, he has to basically report the crime. Is going around at Shiesty and them trying to pay off the guy. And
why would they?
I heard he ain't take it. There ain't nobody got paid off. They also tried to contact the other dude that was with Gucci. He said my loyalty with Gucci, man. That white boy, he said he was going to the police. Even after Gucci said don't, he still said he was going to the police. This is
he white boy.
There's a video of this. That rumor was absolutely true. And Pooh Shiesty's in a pickle. Gucci was forced to sign some type of paper. That was absolutely true. But he's still 10-17. He's not with Yo Gotti. This move may have been Yo Gotti got into that father head. He was paying the father money. The father was then looking out for Pooh. On top of the scar situation, on top of all that, that father is a big player. He wanted his son out his contract too.
Oh shit. That's
Gucci
like his manager.
Pooh Shiesty's whole career and freedom in his hands. I'm hearing he might damn near just shelf Pooh.
Damn. But I ain't gonna lie though, fool. Like, whatever. If his pops saying everything is making sense and shit, he gonna deal. He gonna fuck with it, cause like, bro, yeah, this is pops, bro. I feel like he knows best. He knows best for me. Shit like that. But sometimes, fool, if you gotta know what type of family you got, what type of parent you got for real. Like, not saying like not every parent is a bad person, but you feel me? You gotta know. You gotta have your own type of mind, gang. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, gang. You feel me? That nigga Gucci was in the studio on some goddamn Suge Knight and shit like that. Nigga with Eazy-E and shit like that. And they like, nigga, sign this fucking shit. You know, all type of shit, fuck. Get me out this contract, fuck. He said it was like 6-7 niggas in that bitch. Shit, close the door. And probably put that file on his head. Like, bro, if you don't sign this contract for yo, we're gonna put your brains on it. Fuck you talking about? But he's still 10-17 though. But you know what I'm saying? Another reason why is because, you know what I'm saying, he was on some. They said he was on some weird stuff for his cousin. You feel me? Scar. You feel me? Little Scar, bro. Come on, fool. Big Scar. I'm gonna say, damn, fucked up. R.I.P. Yeah, bro. Give them that change. They said they wanted that change, bro. Give them that change, bro. I was like, shit, like, that's his family and shit, bro. He riding with the family, gang. All type of shit. I don't give a fuck about that.
But guess what? There's some consequences and repercussions that's on the way of Pooh Shiesty. I'm not saying Gucci Mane dropped no bags. I'm not saying nothing. But what I am saying is, what happened in that room,
I'm getting dealt with.
it was vowed to not go without consequence.
You remember the last time a motherfucker tried to goddamn do something to that nigga and rob him, fool? I was like, that nigga Gucci said, I ain't going, bro.
So not only is Pooh basically facing jail, damn near look like you going, your career, what you gonna do? Because you're not off that deal.
So
The house arrest thing.
So you trying to say it's like he did that for no
Pooh is
reason?
not in. He's not. I mean, not the house arrest. The home. The halfway house. Y'all know why Pooh in the halfway house? Hey Pooh, I will quit my YouTube career if you come out and say I'm lying. Anybody close to Pooh, he got evicted.
Yeah.
Many of his cars have been repossessed.
Yeah.
He didn't buy none of those cars. I think this is why we're seeing that a robbery took place. I think this is why we're seeing Pooh magically out the blue just posting a lot of promo on a lot of people's pages.
As things has died
Oh,
down
very
technically
funny.
from that situation, people notice a couple of things that should be noted in this video. Gucci Mane took down his welcome home post from Pooh Shiesty, and on top of that, he hasn't been public on social media.
Yeah.
Then on the first day, what some consider April's Fool, Pooh Shiesty was hoping the same. As he was gearing up to exit the halfway house, his home that was owned by him and his dad was raided by the feds. And some say that's never a good thing.
Federal live look at the scene in Cordova. Our crews have seen FBI and TBI agents going in and out of that house. The Shelby County Assessor's website lists this house as being owned by Lontrell Williams. That is the name of both Pooh Shiesty and his father. The rap star is in a halfway house right now after being released from federal. Live look at the scene in Cordova.
But there you have it, fam. I did all this morning to bring it to you guys' attention and hopes to give you guys a clear.
It's just like, damn, gang, you feel me? Like, this Pooh Shiesty right now, you talking about, bro? We just got you. We just got you back, gang. You know what I'm saying? Let's just chill a little bit, for them. You feel me? Like, you just got out, for. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way your ass getting raided and you just got off. It ain't even a year, gang. It ain't even been 6 months. I think it's been like 6 months already. But I don't know, bro.